Mm. Thoughts on the Ukraine situation?
Oh,
That shit's crazy. Oh my God, that shit's crazy. Wow, bro, what the fuck? That's crazy. Is it for real? Yeah, for real, for real. It is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually, this is my opinion on it, and I don't really. I'm gonna be. I actually have no idea what I'm talking about. So you guys can tell me that I'm 100% off base here.
Well, I mean, listen, I appreciate his honesty here. Just being able to say, well, I actually don't know, but from what I do know, this is my thoughts. It's actually quite refreshing to see that kind of honesty.
But if you want my honest opinion, every time that I hear mainstream media drumming up war, I don't even believe it.
Nope. Nobody does.
Find, like, most of the time, I'm assuming that they're misrepresenting the situation to make it seem more extreme, because doing so would be financially beneficial to them, because it would attract more people to watching TV and keeping up with the news.
Exactly. Like, every step of the way, it's how can we get more and more people to react to us? How can we get more and more attention? Because the truth is, younger generations, they're paying less and less attention to these different media outlets because they've just literally nosedived their own reputation. It's insane. Nobody trusts them anymore. And this is exactly why. It's because people aren't interested in what they have to say. So now they've got to try and get people to be interested when they're actually not. It feels like a lot of the time, we don't actually know what's taking place now with regards to Russia and Ukraine, because there's a new tweet every 5 minutes as to what's happening. Every tweet's contradictory to the previous one. And then an hour or a few days later, you find out, oh wait, all of that was just an absolute lie. So, I mean, how are you meant to take any of them seriously? It's crazy.
So I think that everything that these different media websites are doing is completely profit-driven. I think they have no ethics, they have no morality, they are oftentimes an enemy of the people, and they work against the best interest of the public more often than not. So yeah, I really don't know. It's not that I don't think that it's bad. It's that I don't trust CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or also, by the way, or any of these independent publications, because they're just as bad and sometimes even worse. I don't trust them to give me an accurate read on the situation. So as someone who's not educated in this, right? I don't speak Russian. I don't know if Ukrainians speak Ukrainian. I have no idea, right?
Yeah, that's also the problem, is the fact that a lot of the people who are sort of providing all these reports have no idea either. It's sort of just going off on what the media is saying in general, or like some random satellite footage, which we don't even know if that is from like yesterday or if it's from like a previous day. Maybe it was from like 3 years ago. It's like, it feels like everyone's just pulling information from wherever they can. And it's like, well, what is true and what is not true? And that's the biggest problem, is trying to make a decision when we don't actually have any information. Or it's very difficult to separate the true information from the false information. So it puts everyone in a very, very tricky situation right now.
I'm an American, okay? We speak American here. So I have no clue. I don't understand the culture. I don't understand the clash. I don't understand anything about it. I think that I can speak for almost everybody, though, is that I think nobody wants a fucking war.
No.
And that's what really makes me resent the media, right? Is that I think that the media, it's like they win whenever we as just average citizens lose.
Exactly. They're just hounding on that point over and over again, saying that there's conflict, there's going to be a war, there's going to be a war. But it doesn't actually make sense for any type of war to actually take place. It would be kind of stupid for Russia to poke the bear to the point where a war breaks out. It's not to anyone's benefit should that actually happen. But the media is almost like poking the bear, being like, "Hoo-hoo, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Maybe you want to fight." And then all of a sudden, you've got world leaders also taking that out of proportion too. And it's sort of just it's like a catalyst to the reaction, making it worse and worse when it doesn't necessarily need to be like that.
But listen, that's all I've really got to say. And again, I'm not a political commentator. I'm not an expert. Hassan will probably be on later on. You can go complain to him about it, right? I have no fucking idea. And that's all it really comes down to. Media wants war, and so does the government too.
Exactly.
And guess
imagine all of the clicks and articles that they can write if there's a war. They have content for literally the next few years. It is in their best interest for there to be a war. It's insane.
Who wants war? Listen, if you're a hammer, what does every problem look like?
A nail.
A fucking nail.
There it is.
And guess what the military is? A
big
fucking
yeah.
hammer.
A big hammer.
So yeah, military industrial complex. Yep, Dwight D. Eisenhower, exactly. And that's the way I feel about it. I don't want to see any of that kind of stuff happen. It really freaks me out. Like, I remember after September 11th, and
nobody wants to see it.
Just like, I mean, we're still spending like billions of dollars over in the Middle East. Like, holy fuck, leave them alone. Just fucking stop wasting our fucking money, and just spend it on like a school or on like a hospital or something. Holy fuck, what are you doing?
Yeah,
and
it feels like it's such unnecessary spending over and over again, because guess what? The military just wants to keep spending money on military things. It's how they get their funding, and if there's no justification for a military, then why would anyone need to fund one? So, I don't know. It feels like the military kind of, I don't want to say wants it to happen, but it feels like the military is kind of looking for any reason to retaliate and react. And it feels like the media is just trying to blow it up as much as they can to get as much attention that they possibly can get to.
I don't know. It's very frustrating for me to see this happen, man. Yeah, it's very frustrating for me to see this happen. Biden pulled out. I don't know if that was the right decision or not. It seems like it might have been, but I genuinely don't know, because again, I'm not educated in this a lot. But all I'm saying is, just as a layman, from like a layman's perspective, I don't want to see a war. I don't think anybody does. I think average citizens don't want to see that.
Of course not.
Anyway, let's look at the rest of this.
Of course not. Why would anybody want to actually see a war? Why would anybody want to see this get completely out of hand? And we're kind of in a situation right now where we sitting and waiting for a response. And who knows what's going to happen. So I completely agree with Asmongold's outlook on this. I think he's got a very good point, looking at it from a point of neutrality. Not sort of jumping to either extreme, which is what's so important. And I kind of wish that journalists would take this approach when doing their research into these situations and publishing their thoughts, because whether they like to admit it or not, their thoughts drive a large part of the population. And it might take a while for that to inevitably not be the case anymore. Where people just no longer care what the media say. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. And it's probably going to still be quite a while before we do get to such a situation. So completely agree with Asmongold. I think his view on this is spot on, to be completely honest.